It has been a busy week for our favorite traders, hasn't it? And I think it's pretty fair to say that all has not gone as planned in the world of Meghan and Harry. The hotel didn't offer them a discount, so they had to arrange to stay at a friend's place where their trip to New York to collect a fake award for Meghan's alleged advocacy from famed feminist Gloria Steinem. Alright, so I guess that was their plan. But instead of receiving all the accolades Meghan expected when it was announced that the 2023 Women Division Award would be hers, the public and the press response was basically between. What's that, and wait, why? The New York Times ran a piece by Kirsten Fleming and its headline read, "Lying. Meghan Markle shouldn't be celebrated." Sorry, Gloria Steinem. In this piece, she made the suggestion that perhaps the committee behind the Women of Vision could benefit from a trip to the optometrist, and that was hardly the only negative opinion piece about the situation. So, obviously, the cynicism and negative press both worried and bothered Meghan and her husband. Netflix obligations are always looming, and so the pressure was on to deliver something. As Meghan herself says, "You can sit there and be complacent and watch it, or you can say, what can I do to get us to the other side of this?" All right, Meghan, we all know what you did. You executed Plan B. At this point, I don't need to go into a lot of detail about what happened. It's safe to say that Kevin, the burglar, the bodyguard photograph with pieces of Meghan's dress as a tie in his hand on her bum, Doria sleeping the sleep that only a very stoned person can sleep, Harry filming everything, and then Meghan looking like a maniac during the most terrifying moments of her life, have certainly not distracted anybody from the fact that no crowds were there to see. There were only a few press people there, and a heckler, too, who was also a member of the press. Maybe, I'm not sure, but that award night certainly did not live up to its promise for making even Gloria had to be propped up. Now, the Plan B has become clear. We understand why Meghan thought that it was necessary to wear that inappropriate dress for the occasion. I mean, who shows up to receive a fitness award looking like a streetwalker? Well, of course, it's all for the Netflix cameras because they were filming. And they're also rumored to have been the other SUVs. It has been suggested that it was Meghan who contacted Backward in the first place to try to make sure the photographers were also around tapping them. This would also do a lot to explain how Backward clapped back through their legal team when they found out they had been tricked by Meghan. And in fact, they were just being set up. But anyway, when the newest first came out, the usual schism happened. The sugar spaces were added first, appalled by this blatant attempt to kill Meghan, which then turned into Show Me, where Meghan actually said that it was a two-hour chase. But everybody else was too busy laughing because Meghan, Harry's attempts to try to keep some relevance are so incredibly desperate. But how many people were actually keeping a close eye on the undercurrent in the situation? Why hasn't Meghan ever been held responsible for the nastiness that she spews out through that snivelling little knob, Gull and Scooby-Doo? It is only through Meghan that he has thrived. How else could this fact-averse master of hyperbole have ever managed to be in the position that he is in right now? Right now, it looks like he is a gay heap. Before Meghan and Harry, and he's their favorite journalist, if it were not for Meghan and maybe Marcus, I don't think he would be anywhere. But looks to me like Scooby-Doo's main role in life is just to encourage mass hysteria. He uses all kinds of tricks to get people upset. Now, some of his latest rounds are absolutely disturbing. Just a bunch of verbal diarrhea that clearly has one goal and one goal. But actually, it is the responses to his ranting and raving that we need to be looking at amongst the signature immature content, complete with grammatical errors and poor spelling that denotes the Sussex Sugars and other insane family. There is a very sick trend that Scooby-Doo is encouraging. What began as a farce that was drained up by Meghan or maybe her new PR people or Netflix to get some attention and boost her image has turned into something else altogether. When Scooby-Doo explicitly linked that evening's event to the passing of the late Diana, What is really just the idiotic activities of a couple of desperate clowns has now been turned into some type of murder attempt. And to hear the sugars, Talib, this assassination attempt has been set up by Charles and William, sometimes simply referred to as them, as well as the media and the palace. The government and even Catherine. People knew that murdering Diana wasn't enough. Harry and Meghan have to be next. Some of them are even hoping that Harry can get his security sorted before it's too late, they say. Well, no wonder those SUV windows were tinted. Anybody could have easily paid Camilla or Charles out of a lineup as a whodunit. The list of suspects is suddenly endless. There is a nice little palate cleanser though. After that, Scooby-Doo article from Jen Moore. It's a really nice read. I think the two of them need a good heaping dose of reality forced into their mouths. They are such nasty pieces of work. Most people who read Scooby-Doo press releases know exactly what the idiots were up to. I know we cannot compare the situation Meghan and Harry faced to the situation Diana was in. I have been to New York many times and like so many people, I know what that traffic is like. And then actually posting photos, pretending to look terrified. Yeah, right. Nobody's buying it. It is only serving Meghan's little fantasy empire. A play for free security is what this is all about. This is another opportunity to blame the press for something they didn't do and is another way for them to try to stir up some hatred for the monarchy and to try to make everybody forget the award was an absolute dud. That nobody cared a thing about. Let's not forget that Scooby-Doo singled out not one member of the royal family reached out to the Sussex following their near-catastrophic car chase. Well, maybe they didn't want Scooby-Doo to repost every single word on his Twitter account. Perhaps somebody should tell him that it is because science is the only way to deal with a couple of narcissists like Meghan and Harry. I would assume the priority for the royal family would be to return to the UK. Just in time to be depicted going about their business. If they really are the villains in the scenario. And probably one of the most obnoxious things about Scooby-Doo is that he showed up in court just last week talking about how he didn't know Harry very well. He didn't have his phone number. And now he is saying that no member of the royal family reached out to Harry after they were so scared by the paparazzi. Well, how does he know that? Is he hacking their phones, I wonder, or could it be that they are employing Kim? He is incredibly biased, and somehow he is allowed to lie in court on behalf of his employers. It is a question that needs to be answered, but how it would be reasonable to assume that he would be finished after he used some of his press passes to get a few of the more insane Sussex squads within just a few feet of the royals at an event. And his stupid book, which was widely criticized, was proven beyond a shadow of a doubt, who had been written with the help of Meghan and Scooby-Doo. Has been caught time and time again showing the exact disregard to fact, as Meghan herself often shows. Now there's a link which the sugars love to play down, but it is an established one. If only Netflix could see the amazing opportunity they have to make their own independent documentary about their experiences with Harry and Meghan, the setups, the scams, the lies, the desperation for attention and footage, and the slow dawning at headquarters that the two of them didn't have anything meaningful